this is the explanation walkthrough for the lesson 10 project for current unit for our unit 3 intro to programming from 2019. And it is the design a digital scene project. And we're going to spend 2.5 blocks on it, so you can figure out how long that would be for you. We have 2 even and or odd days this week, and then that's not what I want. I want this one, and then an all period day on next Wednesday, which will be the due date for this project, whether you're an even or odd class period or 6th period. Okay, so the project is design a digital scene, meaning you are going to create your own scene like the Under the Sea scene, except it can be anything. Okay, quick look at the overview. We are not going to do this in groups. I've adjusted everything so that it is an individual thing. You can, I was going to say conspire. That's not the right word. Collaborate has different implications. Collaborate on ideas and general ways of doing stuff, but it will be your own project. Okay, so the project starts with a planning guide, and we're going to discuss the planning guide as well as the rubric. And when I say go, you can go to the spreadsheet calendar and make a copy of the planning guide. The planning guide is an assignment. You will make a copy and complete it and submit it to an assignment like we've done before. The rubric is just a guideline. So the planning guide, after you make a copy, put your name in the title and at the top there, you are going to plan out your scene. Your scene can be anything appropriate, with a few requirements, necessary levels of complexity. But other than that, it can be anything. The most common things are some sort of landscape or spacescape type of thing. But there's been lots of other things. I don't want to give you too many examples because that really narrows the guide, or really boxes people in creatively. So I'm going to limit the number of examples that I give you, but let's talk about it first. Should we go? Let's look at the rubric first, which is another linked one here. Okay, so here are what you need, and these are not necessarily in any order, but okay, your code needs to have comments. You need to comment above the function definitions and explain what they do. The final example, and I can use the completion of the most recent version of Under the Sea, which was this one with the loops and high level and low level functions. This is essentially the level of complexity and quality that we're looking for, backed off a little bit. This has 5 high and low level functions. You need at least 3 high and low level functions. You can stick to the draw all, name a thing, that calls draw, name a thing, sending, looping and sending random numbers as the parameters and that sort of thing. Specifically, the rubric, okay, you need to include comments, not unlike the way they are in the one given to you. You need functions and parameter names, the names that you use need to be meaningful and descriptive. You need, technically, things that you name can be anything, as long as it's spelled consistently from definition and function call and parameter and that sort of thing. But don't name it something that's meaningful and descriptive. You need examples of top-down design, meaning high level and low level functions, just like draw all C stars calls draw C stars. You need functions with parameters. You do not need to have every function does not need a parameter, but you need at least one example of a parameter used to the potential of a parameter, meaning not sending it the exact same value every time. That doesn't use the abilities of a parameter. The easiest way to make sure you get this is when you call the high level function, just like an under the C, when you call in the high level function, when you're calling the low level function, put a random number block in the parameter space when you're calling the function, so that the lower level function, when it's receiving that value, will have a different thing each time. Again, same as in under the C, where the high level function is a loop that calls the low level function, sending a different value depending on what it's doing, the appropriate value range, each time. And you need loops. Okay, not too much there. You need at least one example of a random number range. That's not that hard. And this is the explanation for level of complexity. You need 3 or more separate multi-level components. The under the C one had 5. You do not need 5. You only need 3 at least. Okay, so let's take a look at the planning guide. First thing you're going to do is think of your design, describe it in words in this area. You are going to make a sketch of the scene, what you think it's going to end up looking like. You're going to sketch it on regular paper, like IRL paper that I hand you, and a pencil, and you are going to submit it by taking a picture of it and inserting it into this document. Okay, that is the ability to take a tangible document and create it and insert it digitally is a skill that you need to either have or acquire. And so you've got your description of what's going to happen, your sketch of the general idea of what's going to happen, and then you're going to name just your top level functions and what it's going to do. Because your top level function, if you explained what draw all seagrass does, part of that is going to be, draw all seagrass. Doesn't need to be super detailed, but do include the function name in this portion. Okay, so you can go ahead to the calendar spreadsheet right now, make yourself a copy of the planning guide, and head to lesson 10, where lesson 10, hold on a second, there's 2 bubbles that allow you to work in them. You can go straight to bubble 4. Okay, bubble 4 does not work through workspace with bubble 2. It is designed for you to have a partner and send, each of you do like half of it and share, but that is not the case. You're going to go straight to bubble 4 and do all of your programming there. Trying to think, what do I have in this one? Let's see what this ends up being. I'm not even sure. Oh, there we go. There's a nice beach scene. Let me see if I can find another example maybe. And I can go over some of these later. Okay, this one is one that I made that is well, it is what it is. A bunch of planes that actually this one has movement to it. You don't have to do movement to it. But the basic idea for this one is everything is scaled so that any random size, all of the things are to scale. And we'll talk about details of how to do this sort of thing, some of the different features. And I can help you if you have general questions like, how would you make this? And we'll try to solve it together. But for now, you're coming up with your general ideas and working on the calendar spread, not the calendar spreadsheet, the planning guide. I'll get you some scratch paper to draw on and insert into your document. And this document has a corresponding assignment on Canvas, which is in marking period 2. I'm not sure if you're able to see assignments in marking period 2, but if not, then just hang on to it and go ahead and get going.